All right, so this is my 10th attempt at trying to record this. There was a recording difficulty with Snagit. It seems to have been resolved, so let's start with number 1. So these are two-step problems, and let's take a look what that means. So I'm writing down problem number 4. Of course, you can get this with the free download beginning and intermediate algebra, I think it's called. It costs nothing, and you can follow along with me. So what we want to do first is we're going to divide the equation with the equal sign, and there is the n here, which we don't know, and everything else we do know. So we want to put everything we know on one side and everything we don't know on the other. So what we're going to do is this 5 here, we're going to subtract 5 on this side and subtract 5 on this side. And this cancels out. So you end up with n over 4 equals 4 minus 5 equals negative 1. Now, we want to know what n is. We have to get rid of this divided by 4. So anything divided by 4, if you multiply by 4, you're going to get the exact same thing. So if I have, let's say, 8 divided by 4 equals 2 times 4 equals 8. You see how it is? So n divided by 4, we have to multiply by 4, both sides. So what this problem really becomes is 4 times n over 4 equals negative 1 times 4 equals negative 4. These 4's cancel, right? It's 4 divided by 4, and you get n equals negative 4. All right, moving along. Number 2, minus 2 equals minus 2m plus 12. So this is what we want to keep on the right-hand side, and we want to get rid of all this stuff and put it here. So the way we do that is we do minus 12 on one side and minus 12 on the other. So negative 2m plus 12 minus 12 equals negative 2m, because this cancels. Negative 2 minus 12 equals negative 14. So we're left with minus 2m equals negative 14. Negative 2m really means negative 2 times m. So if we multiply times negative 2, we have to divide by negative 2 to get this amount. So we divide both sides by negative 2. Negative 2m divided by negative 2. These cancel out. We're left with just m, right? The two negatives cancel each other. We have negative 14 divided by negative 2 equals 7. And that is the right answer. Moving along, 102 equals negative 7r plus 4. We want to get rid of this plus 4, subtract 4 on both sides. 102 minus 4 equals 98 equals negative 7r plus 4 minus 4 equals 0. We're left with 7r. What do? Well, 7r times r. If we could divide by negative 7, we could cancel this minus 7, so that's what we're going to do. Both sides equals negative 7 divided by negative 7. We're left with r, right? 98 divided by negative 7, I believe, equals negative 14. Let me check the answer. Yep, that's the right answer. 27 equals 21 minus 3x. Once again, we separate the equation at the equal sign. Here we have something we know, 27. Here we have something we know, 21. Here we have something we're not quite sure of, minus 3x. Because what the heck is x, right? That's what we're trying to solve. So 21 minus 21 equals 0. 27 minus 21, you know, on both sides of the equation, we do the operation. So 27 minus 21 equals 6 minus 3x, because this carries down. We don't have to worry about that. So 6 equals minus 3x. So we have minus 3 times x divided by negative 3 would cancel that. both sides by -3. This cancels, turns into 1 times x, right? -3 divided by -3 equals 1. 1 times x equals x. 6 divided by -3 equals -2. That is the answer. Number 5, -8n plus 3 equals -77. Now, when you're doing these problems with me, don't be afraid to pause and do a little bit yourself. Excuse me. And then, well, if you can't do it with me, then replay it and try to do part of it yourself, and then replay it and try to do it all by yourself. So first thing we do is divide the equation into 2 at the equal sign. We know this, we know this, we don't know this, so we want to get what we know all on one side. So this would be +3, would be -3, and here we do the same thing, -3. Why do we do the same thing? Because what we do on one side, we have to do to the other. So nothing happens to -8n, +3 minus 3 equals 0. You don't have to write it. -77 minus 3 equals -80. So here we have -8 times n divided by -8 would cancel. So we have to do it on both sides. This cancels, n equals -80 divided by -8 equals 10. Number 6 now. -4 minus b equals 8. So divide the equation into 2. We know what -4 is, we don't know what -b is, and we know what 8 is. So what we do is we add 4 here, and we add 4 here, and we get -b equals 8 plus 4 equals 12. Now here, this is the tricky part. -b is really -1 times b. And if we want to get rid of that -1, we have to divide by -1, both sides. That's how that works. It's very tricky. So here this cancels. Here this cancels. We get b equals 12 divided by -1 equals -12. That is the answer, right? Positive divided by negative equals a negative. Very tricky, that one. Here's another tricky one. All right, 0 equals -6v. So this is really -6 times v. We'd have to divide by -6 to cancel that out. That's what we'll do. And here we have a -6 2 on this side. So what do we have? We have 0 over -6 equals, this cancels, v. Now this is kind of like a jip, because 0 divided by anything equals 0. So therefore the answer is v equals 0. -2 plus x over 2 equals 4. Divide our equation into 2 at the equal sign. We know what this is. We don't know what this is. We know what this is. What's going on here? Well, we want to get rid of this stuff and put on the side that we know. And this is what we don't know. This is the side we don't know. So -2, we'd have to add 2, and here we'd have to add 2. So -2 plus 2 equals 0, plus x over 2 equals 4 plus 2 equals 6. So x over 2 equals 6. Now how do we get something that's divided by 2? Well, we multiply by 2. So this equation becomes 2 over 1 times x over 2 equals 2 times x equals 2x. 1 times 2 equals 2. We cancel the 2's. We get x. 6 times 2, that's not 6 to the power of 2, that's 6 times 2. That equals 12. And we consider number 8 solved. Number 9 now. All right, whoops, I don't know what happened there. All right, number 9. Negative 8 equals x over 5 minus 6. So we divide the problem into 2. At the equal sign, we have the side that we know right here. We know what negative 8 is. We have no clue what x over 5 is, and we know what negative 6 is. How do we get rid of this negative 6? We add 6 on both sides. Yes. So minus 8 plus 6 equals minus 2 equals x over 5. Minus 6 plus 6 equals 0. So we don't put anything there. This is very good. So now we're left with x. We want to find out what x is. So since it's x over 5, it's x divided by 5. We want to multiply by 5, right? Like we did in the previous problems. 5 times negative 2 equals negative 10. X times 5 divided by 5 equals x. And that is a negative 10. Number 10. Minus 5 equals a over 4 minus 1. We know this. We know this. We don't know this. So we want to get rid of this. We'll add 1, right? If we're subtracting 1 here, if we add 1, it comes out to 0. And here we'll add 1. So minus 5 plus 1 equals minus 4 equals a over 4. This cancels out. All right, so anything that we have divided by 4, we want to multiply by 4 in order, both sides, in order to get an a. So 4 times negative 4 equals minus 16 equals a times 4 divided by 4 equals a equals negative 16. And that's right. Number 11. 0 equals negative 7 plus k over 2. Oh, that one looks complicated, but if you think about it a little bit, you're going to see it's not too bad. We know what 0 is. We know what negative 7 is. We don't know what k over 2 is. So let's get rid of what we know to the other side of what we know. Negative 7, you have to add 7 on both sides. 7, 0 plus 7 equals 7, equals negative 7 plus 7. We cancel that out. That's a big fat 0. And here we have that we bring down our k over 2. So k over 2 equals 7. Anything we have over 2 really means divided. K over 2 really means k divided by 2. And if we want to, if we do something to it, if we want to bring it back to k, we have to multiply by 2, right? So let's say k equals 20. 20 divided by 2 equals 10. Multiplied by 2 equals 20. Think about that. Do a couple of them, you'll see it works every time. So if we have k divided by 2, we have to multiply this whole problem by 2. So that's a 14 equals, this cancels out, k. K equals, am I right? Yes, I am. Part 2 coming up.